That time we outdrank the galaxy and made everyone wet their space pants. There's a saying in the galaxy, ethanol is life. Some species take it literally. To them, ethanol isn't just a drink. It's the blood of the universe, the nectar of gods. The Krith, a race of slimy blobs with multiple stomachs, believe it was the gift of an intoxicated deity who vomited up the cosmos in a drunken stupor. Other civilizations whisper that ancient engineers spiked planetary atmospheres with ethanol as a cosmic prank. Whatever the theory, one thing is clear. Alcohol is the great equalizer. Every species drinks, and everyone fears it, except humans. Now, most alien species have evolved to handle ethanol with the reverence it deserves. A sip here, a shot there, maybe a delicate glass of nebula nectar to wind down a tense interstellar negotiation. For many, beer, plain, simple beer, is enough to send them into a blackout. But for humans, beer is barely a warm-up. And that's exactly how we ended up at the end of the universe, a space tavern so infamous it's basically a death sentence with a drinks menu. This wasn't just any night, though. This was the Galactic Drinking Championship, an event so legendary that only the most insane or the most drunk would ever enter. The reigning champion? Thraxor the Magnificent, a reptilian overlord with more arrogance than liver capacity. And his ego? Oh, it was about to get popped. Is it true you Earthlings drink beer, voluntarily? Thraxor sneered, his forked tongue flicking as he eyed our drinks. We had just strolled into the bar, and within 5 minutes, the whole place was buzzing with the rumor that humans, actual humans, were here for the competition. Sarah snorted, taking a casual swig of her pint. Voluntarily? Hell, some of us make careers out of it. Thraxor narrowed his eyes, not understanding. Careers? Yeah, it's called college, Ben chimed in, sipping his beer like it was tap water. You wouldn't get it. The reptilian's scaled nostrils flared, a subtle sign of irritation. He looked around his table at his fellow champions, a gelatinous blob named Glorp, who was absorbing his drink through some kind of osmosis. Zarn, a spider-like thing with more legs than sense, and Ex-Lorpax, a floating gas bag that honestly looked like it'd pass out if someone said the word beer too loudly. Thraxor bared his teeth in a grin. Very well. Let's begin. We'll see if your fragile bodies can handle what we've prepared. He motioned to the bartender, a grumpy-looking robot with glowing red eyes, who pulled out a tray of glowing, bubbling drinks that looked like they were trying to escape their own glasses. The first round arrived, some neon green sludge with the consistency of toxic waste. Thraxor picked his glass up delicately, and we followed suit. Sarah raised hers in a mock toast. To terrible decisions. And with that, we knocked them back. It was bad. Like, really bad. Imagine drinking molten acid mixed with a hangover and regret. I could feel it trying to peel the lining from my throat on the way down. Ben, ever the stoic, burped, loudly. Thraxor's smug smile faltered when none of us dropped dead. Not bad, Sarah said, smacking her lips. Tastes like your mom's cooking, Ben. Ben rolled his eyes. Mom never tried to kill me. Much. The aliens were visibly shaken. They had no idea what was coming next. Thraxor glanced around nervously. Round 2, he hissed, nodding to the bartender. This time, we were handed drinks that emitted actual smoke. It looked like liquid fire, bubbling and hissing as if it was angry at being contained. Sarah took a sip and raised an eyebrow. This is cute. Cute? Glorp gurgled in disbelief, his gelatinous body quivering in what I assumed was terror. Yeah, she said, tilting the glass back and draining it in one go. Reminds me of the tequila I had on spring break in Cancun. Same burn. I decided to add insult to injury. This round reminds me of that time we had Everclear mixed with Red Bull. You know, right before we set the couch on fire. Thraxor's hand trembled as he raised his glass. He hadn't touched his drink yet, and now he was clearly debating whether to fake a bathroom emergency or just fake his own death. The aliens weren't doing great. Zarn's spider legs were twitching erratically, and Glorp was... Well, Glorp was kind of melting. I don't think he was supposed to melt. Thraxor grimaced, slugging down his drink with visible effort. His eyes bulged, his scaly throat working overtime to keep him conscious. Fine, he croaked. You've handled the appetizers. Now we'll see if you can survive the real drinks. Oh, we're just getting started, Sarah said, grinning like a shark. She turned to the bartender. Got any beer? Human beer. The bar went silent. Everyone froze. You could have heard a pin drop in the vacuum of space. Beer? Exlorpax, the gaseous bag, sputtered. Beer is lethal. Not for us, Ben said casually, tipping back a pint of Earth Lager. This is breakfast juice. The bartender, confused but compliant, brought out a case of Earth beer. We cracked them open like we were at a backyard barbecue. Sarah raised her bottle. Time for a little game. Ever heard of Flip Cup? The aliens looked puzzled. Thraxer, trying to maintain some semblance of dignity, growled. What is this game? Ben smirked. It's easy. Drink your beer, then flip your cup upside down using just one finger. First to finish wins. You drink the entire beer? Sarah shrugged. Obviously. The first round of Flip Cup was a massacre. The aliens couldn't even figure out how to hold their cups, let alone flip them. Exlorpax, with no hands, tried to use a tentacle and ended up knocking his drink onto Glorp, who squealed as his gelatinous form started dissolving under the beer's deadly influence. Thraxer? He managed a few sips of his beer before gagging, his green skin turning a delightful shade of purple. Meanwhile, we had already flipped our cups and were halfway through the next round. Humans are monsters, Zarn screeched, trying to flip his cup with a leg but just tangling himself up in his own limbs. Not monsters, Sarah corrected, draining her next beer. Just really, really good at bad decisions. By now, most of the bar had tuned into the spectacle. Bets were being placed. Aliens from every corner of the universe watched in horrified fascination as the reigning champions of the galaxy were systematically humiliated by a bunch of humans playing drinking games. Next up, Ben said, cracking his knuckles, beer pong. The look of terror that spread across the aliens' faces was priceless. We lined up the cups in the traditional triangle formation, and the balls started flying. Thraxer's team, now reduced to just him and a semi-conscious Zarn, had no idea what was going on. Ben sank shot after shot with sniper-like precision. While Sarah talked trash so effectively, I thought Thraxer might actually cry. Zarn, wobbling, made a desperate attempt to throw the ball with one of his many legs, only to slip, sending his cup of beer crashing to the ground, where it immediately started corroding the floor. Oops, Sarah said with a smirk. Looks like someone's not going to make it. Thraxor, finally breaking, threw his cup down. You're insane. All of you. Beer is poison. How are you still standing? We're not just standing, Sarah said with a grin, lining up the final shot. We're winning. The ball sailed through the air in slow motion, landing squarely in Thraxer's last cup. The bar erupted in cheers as the alien's last shred of dignity crumbled into dust. Thraxer stared down at the cup in defeat, his hands shaking. You are the most dangerous species in the galaxy, he whispered. Nah, Ben said, cracking open another beer. We're just really thirsty. The bartender, now visibly terrified of us, placed one last round of drinks on the counter. They were glowing, hissing, and probably illegal in most star systems. All right, Sarah said, picking up her glass. Last one, then we'll teach you about kings. Thraxer groaned. What is kings? Sarah grinned, raising her glass. You'll find out soon enough. And with that, we drank.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more original content. New chapters and standalone stories uploaded weekly.